Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome back to Mytholandria and Planet Coaster 2. Today's going to be a little bit more of a chill day. Maybe I'm not quite so excited, I am a little bit under the weather, so just my voice itself isn't quite on par with my usual, what do you want to call it, gusto or whatever. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. It is going to be much more chill and relaxed than what's on par so far. Hopefully you understand, but anyways, if you want to support the channel, you can do so by giving the video a like, by subscribing to the channel, and of course, leaving your comments in the comment section. Today, we are working solely on Medusa's lair, and that's because it needs finished. We need to have some time dedicated to it, and if I have to dedicate an entire episode to finishing out a roller coaster, I will totally dedicate an entire episode for it. There are a few updates, in case you haven't noticed. One, I revamped this, and of course, this is obviously a very big hotspot. I don't know if all of these people are literally waiting to get in. I'm not going to do a really crazy long entrance here, just because I don't want to. I don't want to soak up a lot of people's time, because that could decrease the park's, or at least the attractions ride, from being too long, as it were. So we're not going to worry about that. I did change the temple. One, I flipped it, and two, I just started completely over and gave it a different look. So rather than the solid black look, which was so out of balance with the rest of the park, I decided to go with a really dark accented one and work with it from there. You can see I modified the front a little bit. This does make the entrance and exit a lot more reliable, even if it is still a little bit wonky and off. That's just how it's going to be. I'm not really going to worry about being so fine-tuned that it has to work absolutely perfect. One thing I do wish is that I wish it would let more people in this space, because it just lets literally like one person in at a time. What the crap happened there? And I think that would allow more people to be in line, things of that nature, but it is what it is, no worries there. I've also removed this section completely. So in the standard of having everything be focused so much around rock formations, I kind of forgot that, you know what, we have the ability to actually modify the terrain. So that's one of the things that I realized the other day. I was like, oh yeah, I can do that. And so rather than spending hours making big giant rock formations to make these caves, I can simply use the terrain itself. It's brilliant. I love it. And I love that I remembered that, because I wasn't quite sure how I was going to handle it all. Not making quite so much money like we usually do, but I do have quite a few employees now and things of that nature. So all is well and good. But yeah, we can totally expose all of this and then cover it up in other ways. So one of the other things that I did off screen, alongside modifying that, which we do need to fix, is we have this really nice marble stairway. So essentially what the ride progression looks like at the moment, you come around here, you're going to go up, 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 all the way up these stairs. I would like to make some form of temple here, and then you're going to drop down into the cave system. Come out of this cave system, you're going to swirl around, whirly twirly gumdrops. You're going to go back into another cave, and then you're going to go up and around. There will be some form of temple here that she chases you around, and then probably another cave entrance. I'm not quite sure. I did mess around with the pillar all the way up there. So overall, it does have a really good experience, and I'm really looking forward to it. So we may do just a little bit different today as well, and I kind of do more live stuff instead of everything being so centralized around, you know, the time lapses, because sometimes I feel like rambling. So hopefully you don't mind my rambling. What we really need to find, though, is something that works well for one of these sort of entrances to drop down into. And to be quite frank, I may have already found it. This is a pretty cool small tower here that we could totally place. I would have to make sure that it is lined up well. And we can do that simply by lining up with the posts here. and then simply covering it up all the way to the top. Like that. And so then we could definitely Medusa it up so it isn't so bright and colorful and happy, because I would prefer it not be happy whatsoever. Let's see how they react. Of course, we could get rid of these things. I see. We probably, for just a slight bit of realism, go ahead and pull this underneath. Oh, and there's the whole fact that they wouldn't be able to do that. Let's pull it all the way. That's really interesting. Because they need to be able to actually come in and drop. So they drop right there. And so maybe it's just a simple, like this, and they come in through one of the pillars. I do actually really like that idea. I like that idea a lot. And now we just have to go in and delete all this stuff. Alright, so we got kind of some basics rolling here. We got some people who have been turned to stone, which is a little bit morbid considering there's a statue of a kid with his parents, with her parents, but nonetheless, that is just how we're rolling with it. So what I want to do is kind of mimic this style over here as well. Are they not taking into effect everything? I guess there's too many colors. I kind of wish they had the ability to show all of the colors in a space that you select. And perhaps that's too difficult. I really have no idea. Oh my word. I can't wait for them to stop forcing you to try and pick or hit confirm in order to make things work, because that's really heckin' annoying. I didn't want to delete that because then it causes things like that. Okay, and then we wanted to go just a little more dark. But again, not so dark that it's, you know, out of reach of what we're actually looking for. Yeah, we definitely don't want that one. That's fine. That gives it a nice touch. And then like I did down here, it's a very simple way. Well, I say simple. It's not super duper simple because it is a little bit of a lot of a tweak. But we can do, let's see. I don't think we want the medium fire because I think that's too big. Or no, that is the size we need because the small is almost too big. But we can place that in there. And one of the cool things that it took me a while to figure out how they did it because I wasn't super aware. You just go over to your effect color. We want sage, and now look at that. We got some pretty cool twisted sage stuff going on here. You just simply place that right in there like that, and bada bing, bada boom. You've got your effect. Adds a little bit of fun to it. Now, the thing is, we need to basically turn this into a mountainside. So that's one of the things we got to do. This is actually okay. I think this is okay. Just a couple of little tweaks. Just want to kind of get the base of this temple established. A little confused as to how this doesn't line up. Oh, because we do have it a little bit up. Looks like it shifted. There we go, and now that definitely works. We are going to do advanced move and duplicate because that's the easiest way to do this. Medusa's going a little bit crazy. I think she's lost it. And then, just like that, and then we go right here to this boyo. And then we'll move it on down as well. And I think for just the sake of just continuity overall. Ooh, I don't like that. You know what? I'll accept this as just like a shorter piece. Oh, then we need to turn this around. Advanced move. And we'll make this work. Advanced move and duplicate, for those of you who don't use it, is a godsend. I think it's an absolute necessity if you want to make really cool, fun pieces. Is it frustrating at times? Of course it is. But that's also okay, as long as you don't let it get to you like it does me. Okay, so we got that right there. I think this is about all. No, I don't want to do that. I want to duplicate and move. Also, a crucial thing is not striving for perfection. That's the other crucial thing. And then we can totally take this off and this off, and I think that's where we're going to end the temple part. Still looks good. We may keep these trees here, or if there's some dead trees, I may put in some dead trees. But now basically we need to make our walls over here kind of leading up. I thought about doing rocks here because we've done so many rocks as our entrance, and I think it would be a good thematic thing. I'm trying to figure out what to tackle and in what priorities, because we need to ensure that I don't overwhelm myself with the sheer volume that needs done here. So I think we're going to leave the custom assets alone for just a wee second. And we're going to see, you know what, this could be a big. So if we go here, and I go down to my blueprints, and I know we've used this frequently already. I wish there was a big giant ruin we could work off of. But I do feel like it needs to be like a temple complex, because it's almost like she's desecrating the whole temple process. There is this, which would work well if we could time. We could definitely work with this. I would just have to do some major customizations here. Or I could also use this as inspiration, because I love this idea. I love the idea of like dropping into a temple complex. she comes out and scares the holy living crap out of you. But then there's the issue of above it, because I can't go too low. Turn our angle snap off. And admittedly, I can move Medusa anywhere. Like, we can set that trigger to be anything at any time. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's take Mr. Mechanical Bull out. And what is her response? Explosive down to up? No, it needs to be explosive up to down. That way she drops in and it scares the living crap out of you. You know what? We could easily... Oh, this door, though. I guess it's a moving metallic door. So if we took that off, they are actually free and clear to come over the roller coaster ride. And then down into another space here. Am I right? Okay, let's see how this works. Because if so, I need to build a pillar right here. Or I can simply move a pillar, which also isn't an issue. Alright, they're going to drop any second now. That actually works. Yeah, I think that works. And so we can either shift this, but yeah, see, look, it comes right over the temple and then down into another temple, which I think is awesome. I think that's a really cool scenario that they kind of feed off of each other a bit more. And also, if I can get the effects here. That'll be the kicker. Yeah, it's not going to let me, which is fine. We can totally do something different. This is where you just have to be moldable. You have to be willing to accept that not everything is going to work out. But it's a real simple one because I can simply just duplicate. Nope. It's like they didn't be consistent across the board there. That's fine. Yep, that works there. And then, you know what? We could actually take this pillar out. We're going to take this whole section out. Somehow make it look like ruins. And this is where we move Medusa. But she can totally work right there. And the thing is, if we covered her up a little bit, you wouldn't be able to see it. Let's take a look real quick. Nope, we're gonna go with train 2. I'm just trying to see if you could see her. Okay, you can see her pretty darn well. We definitely need to cover her up with something, and maybe we do some sort of dome where you just can't see it. This is terrifying, by the way. I'd never ride this in my life. Okay, so they almost miss her. So we may need to set up the timing just a little bit different. In any regards, we need to get a couple more big fire things. Things need to be much more on fire than they currently are. Yeah, we definitely don't need a fire jet. Oh, interesting. Lasers. There's some really cool effects that we have here. Without a doubt. I don't think confetti really conveys the message very well. All right, let's get on the inside here. And then we're going to duplicate and just get a little bit closer. And then I think for posterity's sake, I think we just kind of like close this section off. Because for one, I don't really know how to address that section. But this actually doesn't look bad, and it kind of gives a validation to it. We need to remove the bowl. We need to add Medusas everywhere for sure. But I actually think this works quite well. We do need to change the color scheme. The fire is going to be sage across the board, I thought. Are we not allowed to? Oh, this isn't part of the actual building. This is one of the things that really kind of irked me about the game. The hoops and ladders that I have to go through just to select the things that I want is a bit ridiculous, and I do believe it's geared towards console, which makes sense in that regard. It doesn't mean it's okay. Slot 3. Let's go with a little bit of the darker one. Slot 2 is, I think... There we go. I actually really like that. Slot 4, what does this do? We don't want that. I think we can keep that there. Oh, I love that green chain. That looks great. And I think it makes sense that like you have like what looks like a pristine temple that's been taken over by Medusa, and then down below here in the caves and stuff is where it all kind of gets really, really messed up. I like it. I like it a lot. And that's where all your ruins and stuff are, which I think looks really cool. Now, admittedly, there is a little bit of like pillars coming through the tops of the buildings. That's unavoidable. We're not going to be able to do anything about that. I do need to make sure we have everything selected, minus the coaster. Confirm the selection and add scenery to the building. I just needed to move it a very tiny smidge to get the pillar out of the way. There we go. Whoops. And then this whole section. I know I don't have it all selected. I don't want to split it. I want an advanced move. Why can't I advanced move something like this? Because I have a piece of the floor. That's why. And this is another thing. We are going to do that. Get that floor base. And I actually don't like it there. And instead, we're going to throw it right here. Maybe put it up a little bit higher so the roller coaster doesn't run into it. There we go. So that way they go up and around. There it is. There it is. I like it. Okay, cool. So that's actually really cool. I enjoyed that a whole bunch. We just need to make things a little more interesting. Let's go into our blueprints. We are going to go to ample. Do we not have any of that? Cool. Cool, 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 cool. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. What do they call the temple then? Oh, excuse me. It's the mythological coaster. My bad. My bad. Okay, so what we need to do next is... Oh, here's another good building. Oh, this is what I've been looking for. This is what I actually wanted up here, but that does work. I'm not complaining at all. We are going to get our little temple here. Oh, this is even more perfect. Oh my goodness. And we need to get... See, I don't really know how it works, having her move across this. I think I'm going to do something on this front, where it just, you see only this part of her, and she moves across to scare the crap out of you. Which means we need a bigger back wall, which means this is actually probably one of the better points. But I don't want to rehash an entire thing, and unfortunately, you can only shrink or expand certain elements of this. Yeah, this is what we did earlier, which may have been better to do it right here, but that's okay. I do think this one isn't too bad. This gives us a space once we build it to cater to Medusa's crawl across. And even if we have to shift her a tiny bit, we can shift her a tiny bit. Because remember, we're wanting to treat this as though it's like a giant temple complex. And you guys are just along for the ride. Dadgummit. Come on. There we go. Alright, so it does look like Medusa is going to get a wee bit closer. Make her work. Which is totally fine. I don't have any issues with it. The fire. Please say it's super simple. There we go. Fantastic. Something's finally working. All right, and then we need to remove... If I did these guys, it would be like the twisted... little messed up versions of them. Oh no. Ah! That's fine. That actually worked all right. What I needed to do was to select her. And I'm going to need to move her right like this so she doesn't actually hit the coaster. There we go. That should be good enough for the simulation, if you know what I mean. There we go. That's not too bad. We can definitely, we need to make this not so cheery and happy. Light gray works. And again, we should probably switch all those out for dead things. Dead creatures and whatnot. Dead plants, excuse me. Now, what we need to do here is we do need to set up a little bit of some scenery. And I'll be quite frank with you guys. I'm not entirely sure how this cave system will go. I still haven't nailed down this sort of stuff. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that it may not turn out great. What is this? Oh, this is extras from... Oh, come on. I have to be able to select. That works for me. Goodness gracious. There we go. And then we can duplicate that and bring that right back. Nope, we can't because the default grid size... I'm sorry. I apologize. I am being very grumpy today. It is not like me. Probably shouldn't have made this, but it's okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. Just the nuances of Planet Coaster 2 are getting to me a wee bit. Here we go. We can definitely bring that up. We don't want to, you know, destroy them. I don't want to... There we go. Just like that. And now what I need is I need to pull a section up higher and then use that as my foundation all the way across this. Oh, and then I have to like, I need to like carve out stuff, I guess. If I pull all this up and then I smooth it, that makes for a nice rocky backdrop there. I can pull the whole ruin look fairly well. And then it would be just coming back in here. And actually coming back into the cave and carving it out. Is there a flashlight in this game? Because I kind of need there to be a flashlight in this game. Oh, I have to go to the free move camera. And yeah, we basically have to carve out this whole thing. Oh, peekaboo. And maybe I use stone right here or something like that just to make it really interesting. Okay, but Medusa is going to have to come a long ways down. We're going to push the cave entrance up a bit, but not a ton. I'm going to push this back a smidge. There we go. This is the fine-tuning that needs to happen right here. Yeah, no, that's great. That's perfect. We do just need Medusa to not be so crazy. Okay, she comes down there. That's great. And then this is where, ooh, this is where, okay, I know what I'm doing here. Be right back. Okay, this looks pretty heckin' cool. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna let this slide right here. And then we may build like a small temple on top of this or something. Yeah, that looks fantastic. Oh, that looks cool. Okay, sweet. So we have 2 of the sections down, although we did need to probably fulfill something right here, but honestly, they quote-unquote don't know that it moves, so it'd be like, oh, that's a cool Medusa statue, and then it comes at them, and they, you know, they potentially doo-doo in their pants. And then, so that's totally fine with me there. I think we need to add to this part. Honestly, at this point, I'm not sure what I'm going to do over here. This is just such a complex system. Did I overdo myself? Potentially. Am I super happy about it? 100%. So instead, I'm going to neglect my duties of what it said I was just going to do, because I am the park owner. And this is where I think you can hide a lot of those structural supports while still adding. Because like right here, like this is actually one of the most perfect pieces. Because by default, the piece slants towards people. So we may even have like a rock face here. So if I were to go like this, and then we were to advance move and I were to bring this boyo up like so. Like, look at that, in 2 pieces. I almost have the entirety of this thing blocked off to where it actually looks like it's a bit of a natural formation, and we can make some good stuff with it. Now, mind you, I need to keep a sense of realism. That realism in this case is that I don't want to cover up this part. Yeah, because in theory, they could still get to all of this. So I don't want to cover it up. But everything else, my man, my friends, my ladies, my gentlemen, that looks pretty darn cool to me. I'm not gonna lie. There we go. All right, now obviously I like using these big boulders because they are just, they can get atrociously massive. It does make makes things interesting trying to coordinate it all, because you don't want all the same assets all the time. But I do love the idea of this being almost like a small Mount of Olympus. Just an absolute mass of rock. And then again, we do need to support the actual structure itself. This temple. That's cutting it a little close, but it actually still covers it well. Oof. I'm not gonna lie, that looks great. I love it. I love it. I do. What I need to do real quick is we're going to add a little bit of verticalness. You know what? We may just keep the stairs like that, because that still looks really cool. And my perfectionism is coming out here. And I know I said don't worry about perfectionism. And you shouldn't. It shouldn't rule you. But I do want to make sure... Oh my word. I do want to make sure that we almost have some railways here, some rail cars. There we go. That's actually like sufficient for me. I can't cover all of it without it making it look a little bit unnatural. But I do just love this idea that like you're coming in here and then you come up this massive thing. You see the temple, which we need to, we do need to cover the bottom of the temple. 100%. Like that's a bit of a non-negotiable. That's going to require some smaller rocks. What are you doing out here? You. Get out of here. And then, like I said, a temple up there. We do need to fix this. I do want to see what it looks like when they come in, though. This is looking really cool. I'm really enjoying this build a ton. It's taken a while, but that's okay. Things are going to take a while on this channel. They just simply do. And maybe as I progress throughout the park, and I understand its structures and mechanics more, we'll be moving along a little faster. So I do appreciate your patience. So there we have Medusa going in there. They're going to come around. They're going to go in through the tunnel. They're going to swing under... Hello, everybody. I'm back. There's a crash. Was another point of contention is that I've never had a Frontier game crash as much as Planet Coaster does. In fact, sometimes, I want to say almost 90% of the time that I exit Planet Coaster, it actually crashes to exit, which is unfortunate. Thankfully, we only lost a few minutes of coverage, or of park progression. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. We were watching this, and I wanted to watch Medusa come on through. So let's see if it crashes again. Hopefully shouldn't. We're doing good. We're doing good. They go through the cave. And then let's see what happens. Oh, I love it. I love it. She is a little bit... We need to modify her just a bit. We need to make her do this and sit upright, which is what we should have done in the first place. There we go. And somehow I'd like to hide her a little bit. Maybe there's a big giant rock formation right here. But yeah, I need to get my thoughts. I can totally do this all out in the future, but I need to have some bigger thoughts in my brain laid out, because even if I review this, I'm not going to remember it. We can have our big mythology building. I don't want to do another big temple. That's not something I want to repeat at all. I do love the idea of this being here, but it doesn't really fit. And we have one just over there. So unless we're doing a Beacons of Gondor, which we totally could, I definitely don't feel like it has a place here. But man, that is such a cool asset. That is such a cool asset right here. It's almost like it was built for it. But I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to rinse and repeat that often. This is more for our water-minded areas. Maybe this is what I do. Maybe I build like a small luxury building up there. No, this is a temple complex. This is 100% a temple complex. So I want to make sure that we make it that. So if we were to go here, I need to remove this tree. That looks good. And then I almost want something right next to it. That would almost be pretty cool, actually. Almost like it was a bit of a plaza area. Keyword there was. That means we'd have to simply pull things out, which is fine. I can pull that out. We could actually flatten to the foundation and extend this out. And we could actually extend it out quite a bit. And then we kind of have... Nope, I want to push it. Oh, I can't push it. I have to draw it out. Nope, that's still pushing. I really wish the controls would let me click and stay on the click. Because again, we do need to be mindful of that space. We don't want to kill the coaster people. Kind of can't get more money from them if that's the case. Okay, and then they do twist right there. I didn't realize that. So maybe this is about the best that we do. We kind of cover this up a little bit. Oh my word, I love how this is coming together. We need to push just a smidge. And then we pull up just a tiny bit here so that when I do my foundation, it doesn't push it so hard. Or maybe this is how it looks and I'd be okay with that. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I think they'll come out of that just fine. And then I do need to do a little bit of smoothing. This is all just a little bit too intense. And we would need to level things out here. And then, of course, I would like to add both of these buildings together. Confirm selection. I don't want to save. Oh, this game today. It's being a pickle. I do want some of those black accents, though. There we go. That's the black accent I want. So slot 2. Nope, that's the one that has to stay, like, really nice and clean. That actually isn't bad. I actually approve of the way that entire thing looks. So what I do wish we could do is I wish we could copy and paste. Slot 2 is the one that I want to get that effect. Slot 1 is, I think, the brightness that we want. Yes. Slot 3. There we go. We get that sage going. Oh, yeah. That actually looks really cool. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, I have to go. Like, if you want to see this today, which you're watching it today, I have to quit and I have to move along to editing it and making it all look good. This is how the channel's going to go, by the way. I know this is great for retention. I know a lot of people may want to see more progression each episode, but it's simply not possible with the way that I currently am constrained in time. So this is going to take another episode, at least one other episode to finish out. I may do some stuff in the interim. Yeah, we definitely need to modify the walls here to make those not be so white. We definitely want to have a little more decayed look to them. But overall, ladies and gentlemen, I love it. I love how this looks. This is turning out fantastic. I love every aspect of this. And I hope that you guys do too, because this is a lot of fun to build. And I can't wait to see exactly how it wraps up. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, be sure to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications, leave your comments in the comment section. Remember that all members do get these videos early. So, if you want to become a member and support in an extra financial way, there is an incentive to do so, but it is never going to ever be required. Just so you know. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. This is Havoc, and I will see you all in the next one.